Hey everyone, this is Laura Gadenik with Laura Gadenik Astrology, and I'm here to give you the astrology for the weeks of December 11th through the 24th, 2023. I'm also a therapist, so I will be offering more of a therapeutic perspective, ways to work with the energy, utilize it, navigate it using our own free will. Okay, so Monday the 11th, that's today, we have Venus and Scorpio making a sextile to Mercury and Capricorn. Mercury is about to station retrograde on Wednesday the 13th, and Mercury's in a really lovely position right now. So Mercury is sextiling Venus. It's also in a really close, what's called a trine to Jupiter. Trine is a 120-degree aspect between two planets. And Jupiter is a planet about peace, abundance, healing, seeing things through a broader perspective, wisdom. And Venus is a planet about love, beauty, connection, romance. So with Mercury here in this position about to station retrograde, Mercury is in a really, really good position. So Monday, and you might have even noticed this through this last weekend, sweet words, sweet exchanges with others, easy connective conversations, might have felt easier to understand others or to communicate from a place of the heart, easily expressing yourself. It's really good for writing, any sort of messaging if you are doing social media or marketing or any sort of newsletter writing or just journaling. You'll notice this energy for a couple of days with Mercury here about to station retrograde on the 13th. Mercury will be stationing retrograde at 8 degrees of Capricorn, and it's going to go all the way back to 22 degrees of Sagittarius. And so that is so the Mercury will be retrograde until January 2nd. And we're going to be reviewing something. That is what a Mercury retrograde is all about, is we're reviewing the part of our chart that contains Capricorn and Sagittarius. So whatever house that is for you, those house topics will be up for review, reflection, going back over. And sometimes Mercury retrogrades can be like, oh, we did this thing wrong. Let's go back over and do it again better. There's always going to be the typical Mercury retrograde hangups, miscommunication, delayed communication, delayed travel, things breaking down, technology glitches, transportation glitches, things like that, just messaging glitches in general. So there's always an element of that. And also with Mercury retrograde, it sometimes can feel like something is being taken back. Or maybe you're figuring out that something's not working. And with this trine to Jupiter and this sextile to Venus, it feels like whatever you're figuring out that's not working or that might not work is going to be for the best anyway. Like it's going to work in everyone's favor. So there's, I would recommend having a little bit of faith or trust in the process. And also, I really like what astrologer Chani Nicholas says about expressing some gratitude right now. If just thinking about something that is going well that you're grateful for, and it could be someone you're able to have philosophical conversations with. It could be an opportunity that you currently have in your life. It could be just what are the things that are going well, just anything that is currently serving you, that you don't have to work too hard for, that's helping you grow, become a better person. That's ultimately Jupiter. As a planet, the archetype of Jupiter is wisdom and spiritual growth and knowledge. And so how is that happening in your life? So let's see. Yeah, so we'll be reviewing with this Mercury retrograde what's serious to us, what's important to us. Capricorn is a sign that likes to think about the future, that wants to conserve and preserve things. So it's thinking about the long haul, sustainability, what's going to last. And so you might be reflecting on these more what feels like serious topics. So in between that, so that was Monday the 11th, Mercury and Venus sextile. Wednesday the 13th, Mercury stations retrograde. And then Tuesday the 12th, we have a new moon in Sagittarius, This is at 20 degrees of Sagittarius, and it's making a square to the planet Neptune, planet of dreams, longing, grief, loss, vision. So new moons are all about new beginnings, planting seeds for something. What is it that you want to grow or see emerge? And this new moon might be characterized a little bit by some grief, perhaps, some longing for something that maybe you don't have right now. Sadness might come up. And generally speaking, whenever any planet is in aspect to Neptune, things can feel a bit unclear or foggy. So it's not necessarily a new moon to act upon or to do anything like anything in particular with. It's more about dreaming, fantasizing, resting, finding any sort of flow state that you can get into, whatever that looks like for you. Music, dance, meditation, reading, movies, novels, whatever. But it's a good new moon to kind of dream about what you're longing for, or to pay attention to what is hurting, or what emotions are there and what emotions need tending. Yeah. Okay, so, and then that's we're gonna feel that kind of longing, loss, grief, dreaming, visioning energy throughout the rest of the week. On Saturday the 16th, the sun makes an exact square to Neptune. So once again, it's a good time to daydream, go slow, find water if you have water near you. There can also, sometimes the astrology manifests, often it manifests more physically in the external world. So sometimes, especially if like your fourth house is being impacted, the fourth house is the house of home, family, where you live. Neptune is the god of the oceans and seas. So sometimes this can manifest with like a water leakage or some sort of like drainage problem or something happening in your home with water. It can be very literal. So okay, so the 16th, go slow, let yourself daydream, romanticize, fantasize, but don't necessarily believe the thoughts that come up or the dreams that come up, or, like you can enjoy the fantasy, but don't necessarily believe it. There can be some like self-deception happening around this time as well. Okay, then on Monday the 18th, Mercury, which is retrograde, is making a really supportive trine to Jupiter. So this is the exact trine to Jupiter. This is the second one. The first one was on December 7th. There's going to be a third trine to Jupiter as Mercury, when Mercury is moving in a direct motion, and that's going to be on January 19th. So I encourage you to pay attention to these dates. So the first one was December 7th, second one is the 18th, third one is January 19th. There might be elements that are connected, that are part of the same story. Maybe not, but often it's that's the case. And you might notice just, once again, healing, supportive conversations. Mercury is planet of the mind, communication. This could be this Monday the 18th when Mercury trines Jupiter for the second time. This could be that something that was given before is being taken back. And once again, remember, often it's for the betterment of, or the improvement of, or doing things in a different, new way that's going to serve you better. So something could be taken back, but for the best. You might be reflecting on philosophy, your belief systems, your sense of spirituality, your connection to God, to some sort of divine presence. And once again, really great day to extend gratitude, thinking about what you're grateful for. Writing is really, really lovely on this day. But finding someone to connect with and talk to, I think will feel really supportive and grounding. And you might even notice something, an opportunity coming through, or maybe there is an opportunity on the December 7th, and this is like the second piece of that story. You might be hearing from someone on this day that is connected to an opportunity from December 7th. So yeah, really nice aspect. Okay, Thursday the 21st, we have Venus in Scorpio making an opposition to Uranus in Taurus. Venus is the goddess of love, beauty, romance, connection, pleasure. And Uranus is a planet about outside of the box thinking, drastic change, breakthroughs, doing things differently, surprises. So this could be breakthroughs in relationships, breakups in relationships. This could be breakthroughs, turnarounds in maybe an art project that you're working on, or a collaboration you're working on with someone, or maybe your sense of style, the way you're expressing yourself hasn't been feeling fully authentic and you're ready to change things up a bit. There could be just generally unexpected changes in love, beauty, style, art, projects, collaborations. Maybe you're experiencing a need for out-of-the-box thinking with regards to relationships, like how you're doing relationships, or doing something like more radical for pleasure or for fun, something that's different that you don't normally do. There might be generally a sense of like boredom in the air around this day, and you might just be kind of itching to go try something totally different that you've never done before. On the same day, Mercury, still retrograde, makes a sextile to Saturn. You honestly might barely notice this because it's not the biggest deal compared to Venus opposite Uranus, but Mercury sextile Saturn brings stabilizing conversations, getting things done, the ability to prioritize and plan. So I think it could be helpful with this Venus opposite Uranus, which could come out a bit challenging potentially, or freeing, but sometimes things that are challenging are also freeing and can free us in our expectations of love and beauty and connection and art. Okay, same day, Thursday the 21st, the sun heads into Capricorn. We are entering Capricorn season. The part of your chart that contains Capricorn, whatever house that is going to be emphasized and highlighted even more. Capricorn is a cardinal earth sign, so it's cardinal signs are the beginning of a season, so this is the beginning of winter, and it's an earth sign. Earth signs are all about stabilizing, grounding, thinking about the future, planning ahead, securing wealth or resources, or kind of making sure there's stability. And then cardinal signs are all about starting, initiating. Capricorn is the goat, and what is a goat's nature but to climb mountains, to climb to the top of something, to achieve. So this might be a time where you're feeling more ambitious, maybe more focused on a goal, maybe there's a sense of wanting to initiate or take charge of something or lead something. It's still Mercury retrograde, so it's not necessarily the best time to start something now while the sun enters Capricorn. But just generally speaking, those are that's a bit about Capricorn. And of course, this is going to bring light. The sun brings light to the part of the chart that contains Capricorn. So where this Mercury retrograde is happening, this is going to bring some awareness around the issues coming up for you. Okay, so speaking of which, Friday the 22nd, Mercury and the sun conjoin, come to the same degree, 0 degrees of Capricorn. And this is called a cazimi. It's a really special moment when any planet enters the heart of the sun or the same degree as the sun. It's called a cazimi, and that planet is imbued with the sun's light. And so that planet's significations gets blasted with the sun's light. And so it's kind of this moment of awareness of something becoming brighter, something becoming seen that was invisible before. So this is a day for insight and awareness, particularly around this Mercury retrograde cycle and process, once again relating to the part of your chart that contains Capricorn, so whatever house that is for you. So clarity is coming through. It's a good day to journal. And this is about halfway through the Mercury retrograde cycle. And so starting out at this point, well, I shouldn't say things will get easier or better because that's not necessarily true, but it's like we're halfway through, we see the light at the end of the tunnel, we're almost out of kind of this darkness of Mercury retrograde, of going within and reflecting and reviewing. And yeah, so Mercury is going to be heading into Sagittarius on the same day later in the day. And then on Sunday the 24th, the Sun in Capricorn sextile Saturn. Once again, so Saturn's a planet about responsibility, duty. The Sun is our conscious awareness, our light. So this feels like a good day to stabilize, get things done, get duties done, focus on your responsibilities. It's an easy day to be productive, essentially. So, okay, so that is the astrology for the next couple weeks. I hope this was useful. Please like, subscribe, comment if you are willing, and otherwise I'm available for consultations, and I'll be back in a couple weeks for the next astrological update.